tonight. Elite 8 flags back in action, and we will be getting underway here any second. So, what are you looking forward to, Rick?
I'm looking forward to a lot of various elements that are being pulled for, walk through walls, the second quest rooms, enemies, and things like that, and a start screen in Death Mountain.
Yeah, start screen in Death Mountain would be great. That is one of the things that has been changed for these Elite 8 flags, is the fact that, well, they can start anywhere.
But that's not where they're going to start.
No, we got to start in the Dead Woods. So one of the first things that our runners are going to be looking for is indeed a wood sword, because, well, combat is nice. And they'll also be checking for Armos item, because that is a free item that can help them out, depending on what it is.
Just saw the small seeker for 10 rupees.
Yeah, so something else about this overworld, and actually something about starting in the Dead Woods, is normally the Power Bracelet and the Recorder, they're okay for 5 spots in the overworld, but, well, we're running Second Quest Overworld now, so the Power Bracelet and Recorder are actually going to be much more vital items to overworld exploration, because we have a lot more spaces that can be opened up with those items, and we find level 7 pretty quickly for our runners, and that's north of First Quest Vanilla level 3.
Yep, in the Lost Woods, Deadwoods potion shop, and we immediately see a room that could be very interesting because it's got 5 blocks, some keys in it, and we do see, oh, there's a staircase with some Lionels and a heart container.
Yeah, early heart container is nice because, well, there is a weight sword item out for pickup somewhere, and that will cost them anywhere between 4 and 6 hearts. So getting early hearts is always nice, so when you come across it, you can just try to pick it up rather than having to come back to it, especially if it's in a kind of annoying place. But then, of course, we also have the ladder in level 7 really early on, and, well, that's always nice for the runners as well.
Yeah, good find in level 7. Definitely want to have that early on.
So it does look like we did find our Armos item as well, and that is the boomerang on RC's side. And we also found level 1 right next to it. So very good find for RC early on. Level 1, always a great find because of, well, 2 items, small level. And look at that, silver's on the coast. And we do apologize just a little bit, we are being a little bit quiet right now, but RC also heading over and picking up his silver arrows as well. So very good for both of our runners. Now all they need is the bow for the other half, because, well, silvers are useless unless you have a way to fire them. We see our medium secret here, 29 rupees, so about average. So our small and medium secrets are right around where they normally are. Now, it is important to remember that in Second Quest Overworld there is only 1 large secret, and the 2 that are missing actually go towards the small secrets. So you have 6 small secrets instead, and we also see that a bunch of Octoroks are.
Having 0 HP is nice, especially with that boomerang.
Absolutely, and RC does get a lucky bomb drop off of one of the Octoroks and is able to do a little bombing exploration as well up here that JamEvil can't do, and he finds level 4 in all of its dark blue and black glory.
Blame Crim for those.
Yes, I do apologize for those. And well, that's an ugly room. Gyarados and Wizrobe and a T-Room? No thank you. But JamEvil, fine.
Yeah, and what we're seeing for is apparently becoming very blocked.
Yeah, and man, what a rough go for both of our runners. Both taking a death up in the very northeast. So luckily, they are able to do world wraps and everything. Yeah, just a rough area to take deaths before you're finished exploring.
Yeah, even worse for rcdrone at this point, because Jam having the sword gives him a little bit more of an advantage than Drone has at this point. Drone is still prioritizing getting that sword.
Absolutely, and when Jam does come across some of these levels, if he decides to return to some and things like that, we'll have a little bit easier time going through them because, well, we've already seen 2 enemies in dungeons that are completely immune to even being stung. Tight.
At this point, Jam's going to go ahead and explore some of these roads.
He does find a gift shop down at Vanilla Start and decides to pick up a candle, so he will have that exploration. Opts not to pick up the letter yet, but I'm sure not because that could be in a map later on. Level 1 as well. Have a little easier time in here because, well, he has a weapon.
Yeah, at this point in time, this will help him out, but unfortunately having 2 key doors and a bunch of bunnies to kill, this is not necessarily the easier having to do's at this point.
No, definitely not, and I also have to say I love Red Whiskered Pulse voices. Just how they look, not fighting them. Fighting them is still annoying.
We see a meat shop with a 91 rupee bay, so we know that that is not the cheap meat shop.
No, and with a shield and key as its other items, or shield and heart as its other items, that's a completely useless shop.
Yeah, that's one of those kind of shops where you'll maybe mark it down for the meat, but you're unlikely to revisit that store as Drone ends up using the candle to get some bombs off the Grias.
And a nice early recorder for Jamie.
Yeah, the Tutti Flute, as he would call it.
Absolutely. So he is going to go back in and clear out this other Pulse Voice room, or actually, no, he's going to look to see if he can explore any more of level 1 that way without having to need a key, but it doesn't look like it. We'll see if he's able to make it through this Pulse Voice room. Pulse Voice in general are annoying. With BMO's statues, they're even worse.
Yeah, right this moment, Jam would love to get a clock on the 6th part of the count. It's going to go ahead and reset the room, because if he dies, that one that he has already killed will stay dead.
Yeah, and RC does get his sword, so both of our runners do have some sort of combat now, and Jamie does take the BMO's death, and RC is continuing to explore the northeast, and while that shield heart bait shop pops up again.
More than expensive shield, more than expensive heart, but the meat being cheaper than normal, but you're still not going to want to buy it if you find the cheaper meat somewhere.
No, I mean, You don't need to feed the hungry gorillas prime rib when they can just have, skirt steak.
So Jam's going to go ahead and leave this level 1 alone, and this is a good decision to do because at this point you have you're gambling on that is going to be a key drop. As he finds level 5, maybe he can get some keys there.
Yeah, in vanilla levels, you would actually, this would be the level that you would love to find if you need keys, because level 5 typically always has a ton of keys, but in Randomizer, it doesn't always stay like that, so we'll see if it works or not. And RC is back in level 4, taking on this Wizrobe Gibdo room. So we'll see if he can clear it out to be able to clip his way across the T.
He gets rid of the worst part of that, and that is the Wizrobe.
Absolutely. He is going to leave 2 Gibdos there, and wow.
The level 6 room popping in 4.
Yeah, all the nice little blocks here, and he is able to progress a little bit further into the dungeon, so hopefully something comes about it for RC, because a really nice item here would really open up the seed for him.
I don't think bombs was a good thing to drop at that point, but he will find where the compass is, but he's got to dodge some red bubbles. And so one of the things here with level 4s, first of all, you are going to be dealing with the possibility of some walk-through walls in level 4. Secondly, if that was truly a Goma block there at the very beginning of that dungeon, very unlikely that the item in level 4 is going to be the bow, as Drone kind of realizes that, and will pick up the Triforce.
Yeah, he did a little peek north there, and decided he didn't want to have to contend fighting a Gibdo and a blue Wizrobe in the same room as red bubbles, even if there was a blue bubble in there as well. Drone tends to play with the mindset of, I will clear levels and hope to find Recorder so I can whistle back if needed, and finds level 6. So a lot of really dungeons found here by both of our runners.
Yeah, and I should point out that we are dealing with a second quest overworld, so there's a possibility that there's some special items that are going to be required, but the more that we find, oh god, level 6 room pops up twice in this seed.
Yeah, Jam returns to level 1. He has a key now, hoping to find the second item. He is going to head north. Normally when the randomizer builds levels, it builds them north and south, and, well...
Oh... You better hope it's the bomb wall. No, it's not. Ooh. And there's our first ink blot here of this seed. Name that ink blot for level 6. Too scary. Drone's leaving.
Yeah, I was going to say, Drone didn't even give me enough time to think of something that was so hideous.
Do want to point out, because this is a second quest overworld, we are going to be dealing with secrets in the magnitude of there's only going to be one of the large secret.
Yeah, luckily for our runners, with all of our hints being community hints, there's a lot less that they will be inclined to buy, and we did see our cheap meat. It's with the bombs, and it's 53, so that's even better because that's cheaper than normal as well.
Have we had a meat blocked seed in this tournament?
I think we may have had 1 or 2, but it hasn't really come about much. But yeah, as I was saying, they already have silver arrows, so arrows will not be a necessity to buy. Both of our runners don't really feel the need for blue ring, so they won't be buying that. So something like a bomb upgrade is definitely within the realm of possibilities, as Jamie finds level 8 up in Death Mountain.
The more of these levels we find, the less the probability of the special second quest spots on this map turning out to be required. This is an easier room with only 3 bunnies, but you still gotta be careful. One more bump by a bunny and you end up going back to start. No, do not collect go, do not pass go, rather. Do not collect $200.
Yeah, right now, we only have, I believe, level 2, 3, and 9 to find yet, so... a lot of progress already made by our runners, although they have had to back out of quite a bit of the dungeons.
As we do find our first of the Take Any caves, as Drone will pick up the heart container, having already purchased the candle. And this is a scary room because of that Lionel, but Jam is able to dispose of it pretty easily.
Yeah, Jam making good use of the boomerang, and that was actually our second Take Any. Our first one that we saw was at Vanilla Start, and that's where Drone actually got his candle from.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
So Drone is going to come back here into level 1. It looks like he is going to be taking on, or maybe not taking on that Pulse Voice Drum. I was going to say he might get rewarded with his recorder, but opts not to. He is just going to search for a bomb wall.
We do see the Triforce room in level 8, and this could be important here for Jam because right now he is cursed.
Absolutely. He may just do a few quick peeks to see if there's an easy to get to item without having to do a lot of combat or anything like that. Doesn't look like it. Bunch of Tektites that are above 1 HP, so he's just going to grab his Triforce, get his sword back. We'll see if he dives back into 8. Having 2 items in there is nice, but, well, 8 is kind of obnoxious.
But you never know when there's something in 8 that could be required, and this is all the way up in the reaches of Death Mountain.
And Drone winning big on the gamble.
Nice gamble there, 56 rupees. And money's going to be a big thing to manage in this game when it comes to, as we mentioned before, if that top secret is a low amount, there is going to become more of a poverty seed. And we'll see how they adjust their combat as in regards to that. Jam clears out the room of Tektites, the same room that RC Drone is in, and Drone's going to be fighting all these to find out that that's not a push block.
Yeah, high five, everyone. Jam had a much quicker time with this, having beams and everything, but Drone clears that out, pushes, and nothing. Now, Jam has a slight advantage in exploration. He has 2 keys. Drone has 1 bomb, but not much benefit. And another possible staircase here behind these Pulse Voice lines.
No, that was a staircase that Jam took to get to the Triforce.
Oh, okay. Well, he gets another key, and we'll see if there's anything else here. No walk-through wall there. So he may have to go back up to where that Triforce was and maybe explore left of the old man who said something to Jam. I forget what. Drone clearing out these Pulse Voice. He's going to be able to go towards the Triforce then. We'll see if he explores any more afterwards.
It does appear that Jam is going to be cashing in his chips at this point. Now, once again, Jam has the recorder, so he's able to check this spot. Drone is unable to, and it's just a potion shop.
And Drone is now going to take a staircase, realizing he has nowhere else to go. So we'll see if he meets the same fate as Jamie, getting cursed by the red bubbles. But first he has to take out this obnoxious room.
He swallowed up by the leg, which is except for the heart that he just lost to it. So, you know, this blue Lionel is pretty much the scary thing, but that goes down pretty HP.
Yeah, looks like it got on the very good side of the HP shuffle. Now, it is important to note that probably the and the Gurias, and that would be more than 1 HP Tektites, or the teleporting Tektites.
And by the grace of God, in the same dungeon, quote the keys nevermore, is this dungeon? Not yet. And Jam now with 3 keys really wants to see what this already tried, and that is no good.
And second Triforce. And Jamie's possible push block room here, so the item is looking.
Yeah, for Jam, he's hoping that this is something important here because the amount of effort he's taking. What is this? This is up into level 1. And all this effort gets used to maybe, or it's something defensive like the red ring, or even something off. But
absolutely, Jam had to make because of keys. Now, typically, 1 is one of the most key find in Randomizer. It's just how the line. So, it's always nice to come into level 1. That room that he cleared out just had a key. It did not have.
So Drone's back in this level 1. Please, no, he will not.
And of course, just as I say that, level 1 is giving a bunch of keys to Jamie now.
Now, here's the problem with this red room. There's no guarantee that you're gonna get the
worse.
Ooh. Second item of level 1. If Jane this without taking a red bubble hit, much props to him, but he's gonna have to take one. Oh, it's a heart container.
Yeah, not what he wanted for art, but actually the thing that really hurt him there, he pushed the block out, and well, the red bubble just sort of used that to bounce back towards him.
This is the kind of scenario here where it could really be beneficial for our run of grabbing potions. There's another red bubble room. That's got none. We've seen the push block room, and this is not a segmented level 1. Now, we do remember that there was a Gleon with a patron. Could that be a room drop? Oh, we do 1 blue bubble.
Yeah, definitely important with only 2 bombs and blue Wizrobe. So I have no idea what is hitting Jamie anymore, and that Patra in here is kind of nasty as well, because, well, Patras are Patras, and we all hate Patras.
Yeah, again, what the big thing is that Patra could be guarding something big. We don't know. Right now, nice use of the bubbles to get himself through the iframes, because he was going to take a bomb from either the Wizrobe or the Gibdo either way.
Fortunately, Lizerum, or maybe that was planned. Maybe he's hoping to spawn a Wallmaster. Oh my goodness, the Wallmasters take precedent over the blue Wizrobes. He despawned the blue Wizrobe.
That is good. That helps. We're still going to hate red bubbles.
Yeah, definitely. And also, Gibdos are really squishy. I believe they have 4 HP, and the Compass, well, it's all the way back there.
It's not the Panther room, but it is the room, I believe, with the blue Wizrobes in it.
Yes, it is, because that's where Drone bombed to the left of that key door, so he didn't have to open it. It is blue Wizrobes, so have fun, Jamie.
2 bombs, 3 blue Wizrobes. I don't know how many HP they take. Let's have some fun. Down to half a heart. Gotta be careful here on this. Can we get one down? No, we can't.
No, and very, very possible that I miscount because I am a Zelda runner, but it does appear that 10 enough on the blue Wizrobe. So, from the... It's not... Did you see the prices of everything in that shop? Jamie heading back into level 5. Gets a nice random bomb drop there. And another one. So, yeah, Jamie's all set with bombs now, heading into level 5. And concerning hobbits, well, we'll see if he makes his way out of the hobbit hole. Okay, I'm gonna try to do a little talking here. Sorry if I'm still robotic. RC, and then chose a potion from one of the Tikini shops, while Jamie is skipping over the Triforce in 5 to do a little bit more exploration for the item. And look at that, the any key is our white sword item down in vanilla level 7. Jamie clearing out the and we might have our... Oh, it is a segmented level 5, it appears. But we do get very, very friendly red darkness. 1 HP. Goes down in a single swing, and nice room for Jamie there.
And another key find, which now these are kind of rooms that Drone's not going to be doing much in, because the any key kind of makes it so you don't really... You kind of want to hunt down the Triforce. You're not going to kill rooms unnecessarily. We find level 9.
Yeah, Drone will, unless he is hunting for Triforce, he will opt out of a lot of these rooms. Of course, you still have to clear them for potential Triforces, so... but we already saw Jamie pass the Triforce, so Drone will just go in and out of these rooms quickly, looking for this item. And this might be the item for Jamie. Or no, it won't be, because I think that's where he came out of.
There's a bunch of that right side of his map that's blank, which is interesting given how this 5 seems to have a segment to it. But James not finding where he needs to go. We find level 2 up on the Lost Hills. The only level we've yet to see is level 3.
Jamie is deciding to pick up the Triforce. It's not going to take that staircase in an early Triforce in level 2 for Drone.
That's interesting. Now, level 2 is that kind of level where you may think about going back in, because how easy it could be to find the item. Okay,
so Jam picked up his Triforce and then immediately went in. I think he's going to see if he can head right in level 5 at all, and he cannot. So we'll see if he makes his way back up to that staircase.
So strange things are afoot at the Circle K. this matchup here, as we're getting deep into the brackets. In the round 7 of the elimination bracket, we're down to the final 6 here, Crim.
Yeah, and all 6 of these runners are, no slouches at all. In addition to these 2, we have Theorwolf and JSR in our winners bracket finals, and then the other semifinal matchup is between the creator himself, Fred Coughlin, and the initial meme lord himself, Crystal Saber, because, well, we all know Saber's in 9. So, great runners still in this bracket stages, so anything can happen.
There's a lot of great races still to come. The winners final between Thurwolf and JSR2 Gamers coming up next Saturday night.
So Theorwolf is continuing his exploration of level 2. Jamie is still searching around in level 5, and it's becoming more and more apparent that he is going to have to take that other staircase.
Now, don't forget, level 2 is one of those levels that could have a walkthrough wall.
Yeah, the only 3 levels that won't have walkthrough walls are 1, 3, and 7. 1 we pretty much have, we have fully dove through it and we know what is in there. 3 we haven't found yet, and 7, well, that had a really easy item, so exploration through there should be pretty easy as well.
So 3 keys, are they guarding anything? It's just another key that drone does not need.
And
we do get access to the
staircase.
Yeah, we get access to the right-hand side.
And we get the map, too. Unfortunately, Jamie loses his sword in the process, but yeah, he cleared out the whole left side. He only has, 3 more rooms to go through. And there we see our first of the 3 muggers, as LZ Cards fan likes to call them. And, well, we have super ropes that are guarding the item.
The good thing is that they are 2 HP, so 1 bomb will work. And we have a walkthrough wall on level 2.
And the red ring.
Oh, nice find for drone. Now, these runners, and we'll mention this for anybody who's in this stage of this tournament, they are not going to need that red ring, but it's going to help them immensely.
Absolutely. And what we see Jamie doing is sort of using his boomerang to really group the enemies together so he doesn't have to use as many bombs on them. Unfortunately for him, 1 dropped the clock, but the other 2 weren't close to really bomb them together, so he elected not to pick it up. But he is going to bomb them, he is going to push the block, and we'll see what the item is.
Yeah,
it is.
It better be something worth it after all this, and it's the wand. It's decent, especially given the fact that right now, Jam does not have his sword.
Yeah, I believe Jam will be more than happy to get that. Wand has added value in any seed where you have red bubbles. He does fairy, though, so he does regain the ability to use his sword. Another nice benefit of where they start in the Dead Woods there.
I think he actually didn't need to do that because he did a save. I thought that was one of the mechanics that gives you your sword back.
I forget if it's just a save or if you actually have to restart the console, but either way, the fairy helps him out anyway because it gives him full life.
So Drone looks like he's getting ready to head on over towards the back over towards Grave area. Could he be making another play towards level 1? Because he still hasn't had the floor drop item. He also's got level 5 in that area. As we see Jam buying a key. He has yet to see the white sword item.
Absolutely. He hasn't actually spent a lot of time over there at all, but he is going to whistle here. My guess is after here, he is going to head back up towards the grave because he does have the whistle and has a few unexplored areas up there. But no, he is doing his wool wrap, so we'll see if he heads down along the coast to get his white sword item.
So one thing we still have at this point is a lack of a level 3. Level 3 could be anywhere. It could be behind a power bracelet spot, and there's 7 of those in this overworld. It could be behind one of the many recorder spots, and Jam's helping to eliminate some of these right now.
He finds the useless hint cave. Anytime that you see hints cost the normal vanilla amounts of 10, 30, and 50, in that case, you will know that it will be completely useless hints. Unless the random, hint values just happen to stumble across those, but that's very unlikely.
So as we see the power of this any key, Drone is not worrying about clearing that NSU room.
No, and speaking of any key, Jammy is going to come across it right here on this screen, so both of our runners' key prompts will be gone.
And you know how that one person said, that old man says he wants his $2 back? Jam wants his 80 plus rupees he just found the key back.
Yeah, and I misremembered. It was in the forest here, I believe that the key was, the coast was that gift shop that Jamie picked his 8th heart up from. Yes, it was here at Vanilla level 7. That's where the hand key was.
So yeah, now Jam wishes he had those rupees back. Now, Drone going through this level 5. And as you mentioned, the Triforce was up in the top left corner of this level 5. As we continue to search things off, let's go ahead and give you a recap of the items that we've seen so far. Krem, do you remember?
We'll see how well I remember. Level 1 had the heart container and the recorder. Level 2 had the red ring. We haven't seen level 3 yet, and level 4 hasn't been explored enough, I don't believe, to have found the item. Level 5 had the wand. Level 6, I don't believe we have seen yet. Level 7 has the ladder. Level 8, we didn't see either item. Our Armos item was the boomerang. Our coast item was the silver arrows. And our white sword item was the any key.
And so that means of the items that are not attached or cannot be in level 9, we've got the bow, we've got the raft, we've got the power bracelet still to be found. In addition to that, there's a whole bunch of other things that would take me far too long to go ahead and mention. But we do have the belief that level 4 cannot have the bow because of the Goma block and the fact that the game never requires you to do lake clips in order to gain access.
Absolutely, and both of our runners will use that knowledge, so we probably won't see them dig level 4 for an item at all, unless, level 4 potentially has the raft or the power bracelet, and that's where level 3 is, which, if level 3 has the bow, well, level 3 won't have the bow if that's the case, because you also can't have the chain effects either.
The only way that level 3 can have the bow at this point is if it's already accessible by our runners, including Recorder. But it's possible 3 could have the bow if level 6 or 8 has the raft and power bracelet.
Correct, and RC, making the same play that Jam did earlier, just grabs the Triforce and heads out of level 5. Now, he is going to just hold on to the fact that he can possibly come back there. He is going to head towards level 1 right now. Or maybe not. He is heading somewhere else. But, not a huge detriment to not grab the wand out of 5, but it definitely would have helped him a little bit.
Well, I think that at this point here, you're starting to get that little time crunch. You're 39 minutes into this seed. So maybe your thoughts start to push towards, because you know the quality of the opponent that you're facing off against. You know that you're facing off against JamEvil And he does have a lot of Zelda skills. So maybe you're starting to get wondering if you need to start moving along the seat, because you've yet to see where the bow is. You've yet to see where all the dungeons are. And things like that could be weighing on your mind.
Yeah, and it has to. I mean, it's going to be the same way for Jamie too. Drone is heading back into level 1. He has both his Triforce and the recorder to pick up out of here, but the recorder's in this bunny room that he just entered, and it does not look like he has any intentions on clearing it out. Jam does pick up his letter, and then he does buy a red potion, so he has the opportunity to regain his sword if he gets hit by a red bubble now.
That's a good strategy at this point.
But Jamie's still sitting on only 2 Triforces, has to start feeling a little worried here. He still hasn't yet to find level 2 or level 3, and he still has the bow out there at large as well.
So I think right now Drone wants to get this room with the wizards done, and maybe, no, I guess not. He starts sorting them down, but that is not going to be the case. Jam goes back into level 7. We saw the ladder earlier, but we never saw what the Triforce is.
No, Jam did a quick look in here and then decided that he didn't want to go for the Triforce right now, probably just deciding, you know what, I am far behind, I'm right here, so I might as well go for it and grab the Triforce while I can.
I suppose that right there was a big enough of a reason when you see this Aquamentus and 2 key doors. I think that was probably enough of a reason to get out at that point.
Yeah, and these Lionels aren't any better. Luckily,
the good thing is that they're squishy.
And Drone electing to kill the Patra first for the floor item before any of the Bull's Voice, just because, as I said before, those Bull's Voice and those Beamos rooms are absolutely disgusting to have to deal with. So he is avoiding them as much as possible, but he's slowly realizing I'm probably going to have to clear them out.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision on on killing that Patra first.
Jam walking into a part of the wall that will never be walked through, especially if a door is just to his left, but continues on his way and is going to search behind these locked doors now.
And the other thing is in this level 7, there will never be a walk through walls. He does find the Triforce in a staircase room, and Drone almost clearing off, and now it's time to face off against the bunnies that he's been facing off for some time. He could have made this revisit to level 1 a lot faster.
Oh, definitely. And Jamie doing a little bit of burning in the dead woods now, and yeah, just a bunch of greedy old women.
And, well, you know what? The best time to find I want my $2 back is when you have 0 rupees in your arsenal at this point. Drone does get the recorder. Now he will go back to the room with the Wiz Ropes, finish that off, and he will have Triforce piece number 5.
Yeah, Drone making quick work of his Triforces, and is caught up to Jamie in the items as well, and has a decided defensive advantage as well, so I would say Drone has a slight lead right now, but of course, with either of these runners, no lead is safe.
Well, bear in mind that Drone is currently gambling on 2 items right now, levels 4 and 5. He's going to go back to 5. Oh, this was just a recorder. So he's going to go ahead and check the graveyard first by the looks of things on his recorder trip.
And I believe Jam is checking the last of his recorder spots. I think he has checked all the others, so if nothing is here at level 2, well, the recorder has not much use for us here. And nope, just a bomb and meat shop.
So now the thing with level 3, it could be behind a power bracelet spot, it could be behind a raft. Now, did Jam check the recorder spot in the Dead Woods? The one that is near the southwest corner?
Yes, I believe he did check that on his save and quit when he went to the fairy fountain immediately after.
So Drone's going to go ahead and use the recorder for the assistance of getting him back to the other side of the world, and Jam's now in level 4. So as we mentioned before, it's very unlikely that the bow is going to be in level 4 because of that room, that T room. and he's going to go to over this room to the right. He's going to see this Goma, and he will know that that Goma can't lead. Oh, 3 was recorder blocked, and Drone has found it.
Then Jimmy did miss a recorder spot, and it must have been the grave one?
No, desert. The upper right desert one to the left of Monocle Rock. Jam missing out that spot. He's not that far away from it. He may check it real soon, but this is interesting as Drone finds where level 3 is. Power Bracelet not required, and the Raft will not be required this seed.
We do see level 3 is a segmented dungeon, though, so a little bit of exploration, but given that it is the smallest dungeon left for Drone to explore, I assume that he will be digging out the item in here, hoping that it is the bow.
Well, there's the Triforce, so what will Drone do in this instance here?
He is killing these blue dark nuts and doing a really good job and gets a force off of them. Wow, what a quick run for Drone there.
So we'll see when Jam gets back over there. Like I said, he's not too far away from this right now. He's in level 4. He will grab this Triforce out of 4. And Drone is looking in this level 3. Will this turn out to be pay dirt for him? Could it be the bow? Or maybe we find the book and the bow's an 8 or something like that.
Jamie is diving back into level 4.
He may be on the thought process here of the Power Bracelet blocking something, the real Raft blocking something, and this would be bad news if this turns out to be the Power Bracelet, because that opens up 7 more spots on the map.
Yeah, and you see it a lot more in Link to the Past Randomizer. You have to think about sequence breaking. If you sequence break and get an item, well, that item couldn't have been anything that led to that sequence break. So he'll have to keep that in mind that, if he gets Power Bracelet, well, Power Bracelets can't hold anything that has the bow because technically, level 4 is indeed Goma block based off of this map.
And therefore, so all the other thing here, with this, we take a look at this ink blot, and the first thing that came to mind was E.T., but I know it's not E.T.
Man. I thought that Cleo held the path to the rest of level 4, but it does not. Just worthless bomb wall, and, well, Drone doesn't really need that. He knows where the Triforce is in level 3. He is looking for this item and is not having any luck finding it, but didn't check right to the right to start.
Hey, look at this.
And that's where the item was. And what do we have?
The bow!
Huge for Drone. Drone is now in Triforce and Go mode, and the best information for Drone there is he doesn't have to go back into level 8.
He doesn't have to go back into level 8. He doesn't have to go back into level 4. He already kind of had that feeling he didn't have to go back in level 4 when he found level 3 where it was. And this is huge for Drone at this point. And Jam goes to level 4 and finds it is the Power Bracelet.
Yeah, definitely not the item that Jamie wanted to see. We'll check this Power Bracelet up here. We'll see if he forgot that he checked the desert spot already. He is going to bomb up here as well to see if level 3 is here. Remember, he also has yet to find level 2.
Yeah, he's missing a point, and the big thing at this point is where does he go? If he starts checking the Power Bracelet spots, that's going to take him far away from where he needs to go, including all the way back up to Death Mountain. Drone back in level 6. And one big thing here for Drone, he knows he can just blitz through this 6, get the Triforce, and get out.
Yeah, and really lucky for Drone, level 6 is not its normal obnoxious self, though that Dig Dogger is a little bit obnoxious, but he should have a slightly easier time, especially with the early map, to be able to navigate through here and find that Triforce quickly. But if he does come across room, I'm surprised he didn't actually push there to see if that was indeed a push block, because although he doesn't need anything, potentially coming across the white sword would be very nice for him.
Finding out that that's a walk through walls, a nice find right at this point. Turns out to be 5 rupees. Can he go further north? Nope. So he's gonna have to go back.
Oh man, that blue wizard room may be required. This might be a staircase too, which would also be beneficial for him, but he still likes not to push there, so he is going to try to make his way. Very nice clip there, and gets through damageless.
Gets through damageless, and also on the top of that, there finds out that it's a push through wall. He probably wished he had that bomb back, but this is now giving him on the right path where he needs to go. And there's the Triforce.
Yeah, grabs it and leaves. Now, he is in a little bit of trouble not having bombs, but he does have 107 rupees, and there is a bomb shop close by, so we may see him make a trip over there quick if he doesn't get any bomb drops from these moblins or gorillas. And Jammy's in level 6 now as well.
So I'm trying to figure out... Oh, I'm guessing there's a bomb wall right there that's to the north of that dig dagger. It has to be, because that's the only... You can't have a required required ladder clip. So Drone, all he needs to do is get to the Triforce in 7, and then he's on his way to level 9.
Absolutely, and this is another rough area for Jammy, because he found level 6 before he found level 3, so he may dig level 6 for the item before he continues on. And Drone back in level 7, his last Triforce that he
And there's
needs.
the Triforce right there. 3 rooms in, and that is it. Drone is off to 9.
And a very rough death there for Jammy, having to get it across that room there.
Missing that one spot in the desert, which had level 3, is huge at this point.
Absolutely, and he also took a hit from a red bubble there, so he doesn't even have his sword to help. Is going to use a red potion here.
So welcome to level 9. We know what we're looking for in this level 9. Could we get a fast Ganon? Could we get a fast path to the princess? And of course, after buying some bombs, there's some bombs on the floor.
As well as fire, so he would have, been able to just sit there. That's actually a great room for Virus, because if they up A, they can go into that room, kill Virus. If they don't get a drop, just up A, and the Virus will immediately respawn. So that is a great location for Virus, as well as here with the Gyarados. So very lucky for our runners to have 2 excellent rooms for bomb farming very early on.
And there's Jam finding the path to go. And now these red bubbles are going to make things interesting. Now remember, Drone does have a potion in his arsenal. He picked one up instead of a heart container earlier on. And that is going to come into key in case he finds where Ganon turns out to be, because there's 4 things in this game that get you your sword back.
Now, if I remember correctly, Drone actually did pick up a red potion from one of the gift shops. So
Yes, he did.
Yes, so he does have that little benefit there. Now, he may also be able to find blue bubbles as well, but has done a pretty decent job so far avoiding any nastiness. And apparently this race is just, brought to you by your County Fair Cuties, Rick.
County Fair Cuties, and Patrick comes in for a little more assurance. The system is down.
That could be why we have a Virtual Boy colored level 9.
We've got a dead end. And Drone is going to go ahead and up and A. And as you mentioned before, because Jam does not have the bow out of level 3. He is searching this level 6 beyond the Triforce.
Absolutely, and we still know there are two unwanted items still at play here. They have not found the book or the magical boomerang yet, so neither would be very welcomed right now for Jamie.
Good patience by Drone, eluding those bubbles. Says hello to that Patra. Lets him hug him a couple of times. And there's another Patrick guarding a single shutter door. We'll come back to visit him later, maybe.
Drone took a lot of damage to that second Patra there. And I believe that might be our first... Well, we have a pig, and I believe that was our first red Wizrobe sighting right before him as well. So this will take anywhere between 11 and 15 hits for Drone to kill Ganon. Ganon as well gets shuffled, but he can't shuffle up because, well, there can't be more than 15 HP.
Trying to get him set up for a stun lock over on the right-hand side, but Ganon just does not want to cooperate with Drone. Here we go. So the big story of this race at this point, as we see Drone collecting the Triforce, was the huge decision to make his way through the desert and end up getting the bow out of level 3 in a spot that Jam had forgotten. As we go through and north of Ganon, that's it, we're done.
Wow. So super fast 9 here for Drone. And he does finish with an official SRL time of 56 minutes and 19 seconds. Everyone, get your GGs out. And Rick, it's asking us if we heard what Putch just said. I'm sure that Jamie may have said something similar to this seed.
That is correct. So remember, these are Elite 8 flags that rcdrone just subbed outward.
Absolutely, and also important to note that, you know, RC had a very, very slow start. Both of our runners actually had a pretty slow start, trying to traverse their way and try to find everything throughout this seed. And the fact that he was able to just start blitzing, especially once he found the bow in 3, is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he skipped the dungeons that he didn't want to go search and would have taken him a long time to search. He searched the dungeons that he needed to search, including level 3, which had the bow, which was very, very important. And that coupled with Jam skipping over that top right spot of the desert there, which had level 3, those things combined leads Drone to be moving on here, still alive in this tournament.
And we see Jam realizing that, because in IRC he has said just, I goofed. So he did find the item here in level 6, and it is Thread Candle.
Which means of the items that remain in this game, the white sword was the last of the quality items as Jam takes to death. Besides that, you had the magic boomerang, you had the book. And one other item that's eluding me at this point, but we hear the sound of rcdrone joining us with a finishing time of 56:19. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Rick.
So, what do you think won you this race?
Was skipping dungeons that I was, you know, the deeper the race went, like skipping 4, skipping 6, skipping 8, I was, you know, had that sinking feeling. But then when I saw the bow in 3, it's like, okay, all those all those skips are about to pay off because I don't need to go back to any dungeons.
That is correct. And how you obviously were happy when you found the bow in level 3, but what was starting to go through your mind as the seed was moving on and the number of remaining dungeons started to shrink, and then you found level 3 in the desert?
Yeah, I was pretty relieved that I didn't need any more transportation items. I didn't have to find the bracelet or the raft. Level 1 was really annoying because I think I made 3 or 4 trips to level 1, and it was the recorder's buried behind Pole's voice that I didn't want to kill without the bow, but it turns out the bow was recorder blocked, so I had to sword them down. I don't know if they're...
That's correct.
Yeah, and all I had was wood sword. I didn't have any 2 HP weapons, so like I kind of got backed into a corner at the very end there where I needed to find the recorder, so I just started sorting. And I also killed the Patra that was up in the upper left of one that I couldn't kill before because I took a red bubble hit, just not playing very smart. But
yeah, we were gonna ask that. What made you decide to go kill the Patra first over doing the Pole's voice room?
Because I don't know, I didn't really count out how many hits it would take. There were like 5 Pole's voice and they're each like 10 HP, so that would have been 50 swings. Maybe the Patra was more, but in my head it was just one enemy, so maybe it actually was slower than actually killing Pole's voice. But the other silly thing about killing the Patra that I realized later was that it was in a Gliok room, and there's no drop for a Gliok room in 1 or 5. And then I realized that as soon as I was done killing the Patra. It's like that was a waste of time.
Jam does get the magical sword, obtainable at 11 hearts. And so the big thing with Jam is he recorded every spot with the exception of 1.
Wow. That's pretty big. But did he have a lead on me? Because I feel like I was pretty behind at the beginning.
Let's just compare the splits right now, because I got them both up right now. His first Triforce was 1559. Yours was at 11 and change. His second was 2913. He was digging, getting items. And so therefore you did have a Triforce lead because you were gambling in dungeons. But then when you got the bow in level 3, it all just pieced together for you. I think the other big thing for you is that when you dug 2, you got the red ring out there, which definitely made that return to 1 a lot easier for you.
Yeah, 2 was really stressful because that ring was buried, I think, behind multiple bomb walls, and I was just so worried that I would run out of bombs without even getting the item out of there. I was really relieved, even though it was, I don't know. I mean,
also a walkthrough wall, I believe.
Oh, was it? Yeah, it's all a blur now, but it was, you know, I like that I had the defense upgrade, especially because I have any weapons. Although I don't know. I wanted a progress advancer at that point, but the red ring is definitely like the best consolation prize you can get.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Jam, the 2 things that really made the seed accelerate quickly for you, which was the red ring, so you could really, blitz through and complete the levels faster, and of course the bow, which made you in Triforce and Go. Those 2 levels are still eluding Jam. He hasn't come across either yet, so that's really what has made him fall behind. I want to say the biggest lead that Jam had over you, both of you had ladder very, very quickly as he finally finds level 2 up here in Death Mountain. He did get recorded really quickly out of 1, so he could have been in a situation that I know you love, where you get recorder early and you can just get Triforces and leave levels and just come back at a later time with the recorder.
Yeah, this seed could easily have been like 10 minutes shorter if I'd gotten that. If I was able to pull the recorder out of 1 earlier.
And the other thing was, I think that helped you out, was the fact that you pulled out the any key sooner than Jam did, so you became less dependent on room drops.
Yeah, keys looked like they could be a factor in the beginning. I was really happy to get the magical key. It sounds like this is just basically this different styles ended up winning the day, that I was not digging the dungeons that Jam was digging.
Yeah, and sometimes it works out great, and as we know, sometimes it doesn't work out, but definitely just coming across the items in the right order and even said having the bow in 3, which is a dungeon that you don't really have a lot of space to dig, is huge. So you don't have to go back to like a level 8 or a level 6 or something like that. So definitely beneficial there when something like that falls into place. As Jamie is continuing through level 2 here, he is going to search for this item because, well, he still doesn't have the bow.
Yeah, I saw so much of 5 and 8 without getting items out of any of them. Particular 8, where you see so much of the dungeon and you'll get either item, and but I was just kind of at a dead end, so I swept out the corner that I could sweep out, and then I just bailed. They're also dangerous because they have so much perimeter. You can easily get bomb walled and just spend minutes and minutes there without getting anything. So it was pretty scary.
And looking at this map for level 2, it does turn out that the walk through wall was the only way to go to get to where the red ring turned out to be. So upcoming next for you, Drone, you're going to be facing off against either the creator or the creator. The creator of Zelda 1 Randomizer or the creator of Link's Awakening Randomizer.
Yeah, I'd like to play either one. Like, with Fred, he beat me in the first tournament, so I can sort of like get avenge that loss. And Saber was the winner of the first tournament, so either one would be a pretty fun matchup to deal with.
Well, you did just knock out the winner of the second tournament, so I'm sure if you could pull the double up, that would be great for you.
Yeah, but even just getting top 4 is pretty, it's pretty satisfying. So I already got further than I've ever gotten in any of the tournaments. The best I did was, I think, top 8. So, yeah, it's all coin flips. I hope to win the next couple, but I won't be too beat up if I end up going down next round.
There's a lot of talent coming up here in this part of the tournament, and you're amongst them, so we'll see how the Rando cards treat you, but definitely good luck as you face off against either Fred or Crystal Saber in the next round.
All right, thanks, guys.
So Jam did something that Drone did earlier in this seed and ended up winning at money-making game.
Yeah, and when you win at that money-making game and you see the -5, -8, and then the +56, I mean, the gamble's always worth it if you know the amounts. But Jam is continuing to explore all these push blocks and everything else, and it seems like he actually has forgotten about this recorder spot.
Yeah, which is very unfortunate here for Jam, and this is a very, very tough way to go out of the tournament. It's really tough when you have to leave the tournament by missing something. So Jam's back in this level 8, probably now at this point thinking that the raft is going to be required.
Yeah, and we do know that the raft will be here in level 8. Don't know how long the dig is going to be for it, but we do know it will be in here.
Just to confirm, we have not seen the large secret, so it's pretty much assumed that it is raft blocked at this point. But we haven't seen all the push blocks yet either, I don't think.
No, Jam has cleared out quite a few of them, but I think there is still maybe one still out there that he hasn't checked. I believe down by start he hasn't checked yet.
Close to start in the forest, I believe. So while Jam is doing this, you want to talk about the remainder of this tournament, because coming up next Saturday, 10 p.m., we have the winners final. It's going to be between Thurwolf and JSR2 Gamers. You want to kind of give us like a small preview of what we could expect in that race?
Well, the flags are going to remain the same of what they have been with our Elite 8 flags, and there Jamie does find the raft. But both of these runners haven't really played a lot of Randomizer like religiously before this tournament. I mean, Thurwolf has come on a lot lately. He started in the Random Percent tournament as a relatively new player and has really excelled and shot his way up the SRL leaderboards. And JSR is not only a really good randomizer player, but he has really just destroyed any percent and got his time down really far in any percent Noah Bay as well. So both of the runners have tools to where, I mean, obviously they can beat anyone because they are our final two in the winners bracket. I believe both of them only lost one matchup originally because they were our 5th and 7th seed respectively, I think, or maybe our 7th and 8th, but both of them extremely good runners. And I'm gonna pull up their stats here quickly. Hold on one second.
Gamers is all around.
Okay, and the matchup between JSR and Theorwolf, we talked about Jamie and RC having 13 matches between them, and Jamie leading 7-6, and now it's 7-7 tied up between the two of them. Well, JSR and Theorwolf actually have much more history. They have 53 matches between them, and, well, Rick, just one game difference. Again, it's JSR with the 27-26 advantage over Theorwolf, so very close there as well.
Why doesn't that surprise me? That doesn't surprise me at all. And Sports FA with the stat of the night there, JSR's one loss was to Chest Jerk by all 3 seconds.
Oh yes, that great matchup. I do remember that because yeah, the 3 seconds was the difference with Chest Jerk being the #1 overall seed as well. So yeah, definitely an intriguing matchup. And let's not forget that some other time this week, we're going to have that Fred Saver matchup that you were alluding to earlier, which itself is going to be insanely good. And
Let's be honest. I was going to say, let's be honest here. That's going to be a delight here. You know, Crystal Saber, he likes to statistically look at things. He likes to route things. He likes to plan things out. He's one of the few players in this game that still uses the pause strats because it helps get him through a lot of these difficult rooms, although he did admit that he may have thought about changing his strategy for last night's race, but he had quite the comeback last night's race too against TA909, and TA909 is no slouch. He's definitely somebody who deserved to make it into the top 8 of this tournament as well. But we're talking about Crystal Saber. He knows how to play this game. He knows how to execute this game. He knows how to route this game. And Fred, well, you know, there's nothing like the mind of the person who has created the program and has figured out how this program works and knows all the exceptions to the rules and knows how to execute it. And this should be a fun matchup when these guys schedule. And again, Saber kind of mentioned in chat earlier that it could come as early as tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely intrigued to see that, and that will actually give us our elimination. I guess it's kind of like a semifinal because the winner will face the loser of the JSR Theorwolf matchup, but
actually no. The brackets have the winner of the Fred Saber match playing Drone, who just won this race.
Oh yeah. They'll face Drone, and the winner of that will then go on to face the loser of the JSR Theor. But with just them remaining, we're gonna be looking towards the grand finals too. Now the grand finals, even though that will be between someone from the winners bracket and the elimination bracket, it will be just a single matchup. So if the person from the winners bracket does not win, it will not matter. It is just one and done. So that will actually be a best of 3. So that is something else to look.
Breaking news. Jam just found 3.
Finally realizing, and also it was mentioned in chat, and Jam even mentioned it in the IRC. Level 8 was very vanilla-ish.
Almost looked like the lion.
Yeah, Jam now in level 3, he is going to absolutely be disgusted when he finds the bone here and realizes, it was right here.
But yeah, the winners, the grand championship should be quite the splendor to watch as well. Should be extremely fun. A lot of great races still to come here in this tournament, and we're not done by any stretch of the imagination. Jam has warned us in IRC that a doe is incoming. Gee, I wonder what that could be.
The fact that he may have picked up the Triforce out of 3 before getting the item.
Or if he turns to the right and finds where the bow is.
Oh, that too.
But he's not going to do that.
So another reminder, Rick, since we have a bunch of people who may have never even played Randomizer or may have played it but don't play it a lot, this upcoming Wednesday at 10 o'clock, well, it happens to be Pi Day, and 3 years ago on Pi Day, a very important event happened in our community. Do you remember what that was?
Let me think. Fred had blueberry pie.
He may have. I know Fred likes his pie. But
there was something else that happened on that day, and something that is very near and dear to our community.
Absolutely. 314 happens to be the 3rd anniversary of the randomizer itself. And we are going to celebrate with a semi-throwback with our flags that we're going to have a anniversary race. And the throwback will eliminate the shapes, but it will also include some of our newer flags too. A nice little mix, if you will, to celebrate the old and the new of the randomizer.
Yeah, it's happening Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. It's open to anybody who wants to play in the race. But the general idea is to celebrate the 3rd birthday of Randomizer by, getting the community together. Maybe some of our old friends will join us, and in the meantime, we'll go ahead and play a kind of a format, but it's not necessarily a format that hasn't been played in a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of our runners will actually forget how traditional levels look, unless they, have been competing in the any percent races, but it's definitely going to be an entertaining and
Krim.
What's that?
Krim, I played in that any percent tournament. Do you think I ever saw a map outside of maybe level 3 if I decided to grab it?
Possibly level 1. Sometimes that's in your path if the gels push you that way.
So I don't know what those regular shapes look like.
And Jimmy's still looking level 3, not realizing, there's that room by start.
Yeah, hopefully he'll figure that out real soon. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. So you mentioned some of the newer flags. What kind of flags are we going to see in this race?
Oh boy, now you're making me pull everything back up. Well, as I said, we are playing with vanilla levels. We are also removing one of the more lovely features that Jam just encountered there. We are going back to slow text, just for that little bit of throwback.
Slow text.
But otherwise, we will have some other new features, sort of like the randomized start screen, and there's the bow for Jammy. Will have.
There's a whelp in the IRC as well.
Yeah. We also will have some enemy HP shuffle, but our enemies will stay in the dungeons like they should. We're not going to have any of those, but I did tweet it out. I will tweet it out again. Also, if you join our Discord, the information is pinned there in the general chat, so you can also go to the Discord and see it in there. But yeah, it's going to be a great time, and yeah, we're also going to start looking into flags for our next randomizer tournament. It will be announced at a future date, but you know, we're always moving here, so yeah, we'll see.
In addition to that, there's also some battle royales that are starting up.
Yeah, that's a very interesting concept from Random and Redbird Grad, where it's just a bunch of, you know, tournaments that anyone can start, anyone can participate in, and at the conclusion of each of those mini tournaments, people are awarded points based on how they perform, and you know, they accumulate points throughout, just like a league of sorts. So
I do want to point out that there is a max cap of 10 people per tournament, and once they fill up to 8 people, then the tournaments will go ahead and take place, usually weekly. Like, for instance, there's one that is going to be starting up Monday nights, and there's another one that's starting to fill up as well. But it's great to see that the community is starting to do some various options.
Absolutely, and that's another great way to get involved in the randomizer, even if you're a beginner. And Jam, here's Ganon right now, and can bomb in from the bottom. So
yes, he can.
Hey, Rick, we have a much easier piggy because Jam has Magic Sword.
Yes, he does, and if he chooses the right path, he will be done with this seed in less time than it takes for a pizza delivery. Go. No, he's not going to go up. He's going to go right. Please don't follow the bouncing ball.
You mean the bouncing bull's voice?
No, the bouncing bull voice is telling him to go up. He went right.
And down, and he's getting colder and colder and colder. Don't take the staircase, Jamie.
Unless the staircase takes him one room north of where Zelda is, then maybe take that staircase. Well, let's see where the staircase pops him out. Cold. I'm freezing now, Cram.
Yeah, Jamie really not on his hide-and-seek game tonight. But he does up A, so we'll see where this takes him. Now, at least he did clear out those 2 Patras, so he doesn't have to worry about them, but he heads left from start. Or no, he doesn't. He heads right.
He's faking us out.
So now he is going to head left, which, you know...
Oh, shoot. And therefore, that is not a direction that Jam can go. So this 9 was very, very forced.
Absolutely. You can go all 3 directions at start, but only one can actually lead you anywhere. But since Jam knows that it's a shoot room, we'll see if he tries to head down from the Senate shoot room.
Or he'll just head left. And further left. And now we're getting cold again. There's a cold front coming in through here.
Jamie starting his trek across the Siberian.
I think we're getting closer to Antarctica at this point.
Yeah, he did just head south. Though I find it interesting that you don't see a lot of snow in Hyrule.
That is a very good point. How are they supposed to go skiing if there's no snow?
Desert? They can go desert skiing, can't they?
On that kind of sand with those levers? No thanks.
Think of them as ramps, Rick.
These aren't the X Games.
No, I don't know what to call these games in Hyrule. Find the bomb wall. Name that ink blot. Yeah, those are different games.
The classic hide and seek, of which Jam is losing at this point. He is getting warmer, but that's only because he's kind of being forced to be warmer at this point.
Also, the HP on these Wall Masters not even going down to a magic sword swing.
Yeah, 5 HP Wall Masters. Yuck. So he's now one room away from where she is, or 2 rooms away from where she is, and now make it 3. Well, we're 2, but now we're gonna go 3 again.
I'm thinking Jam just may want to full clear 9 just for the sake of it, because he full cleared Overworld too.
This is unfortunate here. I'm sure you've been through this feeling. I've been through this feeling where your opponents have finished, regardless of whether or not it's in the tournament race or an SRL race, and you're trying to figure out where that one magical path is to her, and you're not finding it. It gets annoying after a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the more frustrating thing I have to think for Jam right now is, in his head he has to say, okay, I know I screwed up with level 3, I know I screwed up with the bow, but RC finishing at 56 minutes on this seed, he had to have a fast 9, and I just can't figure this out.
And little does Jam know at this point, the answer to that fast 9 was going north of Ganon. That was the answer.
Yeah, and I also have to think, each time he enters a room and, there's a shutter door that does not open, his heart has to sink a little bit, because he's like, no, that's not it.
You know what's going to happen is he's going to pop into a staircase. And the next staircase, no, never mind, there's the open door. It's going to say he's going to pop into a staircase, it's going to be the book. But there it is, and Jam has finished the seed with an official SRL time 1:27:23.
Here, GG's out because, with where he was, it's definitely easy just to want to forfeit, but he stuck with it and did finish.
So with that, we will bid a fond farewell to JamEvil, the winner of the Spring Random Percent Tournament. But he does leave as the finishing in the top 6, and that's nothing to sneeze at, my friend.
Not at all, and we are going to get Jamie to join us here just shortly, so once he does, we will let him give us his entertaining take on this seed, because I know he will definitely have one.
We're just going to have to bring in all the bees with that.
Bees! Did you say bees?
I said bees.
What's up, Rick? Hey, good game, Drone. Man, amazing time on that seed. Everything was laid out for you if you took the right path. I, unfortunately, did not take the right path? Question mark? And, yeah, stressed a lot on searching dungeons for items, hoping that I was going to find it. That play didn't work out for me, and ended up losing a lot of time. Especially with deaths in that level 1 and level 5 that I kept on banging my head against, which I probably shouldn't have. Overall, I'm not mad at it. It is what it is, and I'm impressed. I'm just very impressed with rcdrone's time, and I really hope that he wins the whole thing.
So my main question for you is, what went through your head when you finally found level 3 in the desert?
Oh, it was the only spot I had left. Besides the power bracelet spot by level 6, everything else was a full clear. So I knew it had to have been there or the other place. Excuse me. And I wanted to search 8 for that second item instead of just going to 3. Probably wasn't the right play, but I had already done that for every other dungeon before it. So yeah, I figured why not. And drone was already well past finished at that point, so I was just kind of like casually going through the rest of it. I did bop myself in the head in level 3 there when I killed the 3 blue dark nuts. Picked up right afterwards. And
yeah, and IRC you said "Don't incoming."
Don't incoming, because I said it out loud. I was muted. It said out loud and smacked myself in the forehead so hard that I actually like chattered my teeth together, and I was like totally regret doing that too. But all in all, yeah, it was good. I had a good run during this tournament, and I'm happy with as far as I made it. Yeah, was it 5th place? Tied for 5th? I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm tied with 5th place, so that's definitely a great spot there to finish in. You'll be tied with either Crystal Saver or Fred as far as that position is concerned. So overall in this seed here, early ladder in level 7, and then Silver's on the coast. What did you think was going to be the winning time when you saw both of those items?
I was like, oh man, this is going to be sub-hour easy as long as I find the bow. And yeah, that was that. If I would have found the recorder and level 3 much earlier and grabbed the bow, I wouldn't have fussed with any of those levels. I think going up to Death Mountain would have been a really good play, and I'm assuming that's what Drone did and found level 2 early in the red ring. Question mark, ...
Yeah, he did find it probably, I'd say, around 35 minutes.
Yeah, that's huge on this seed because there's a lot of major damage dealing enemies, especially the 2 heart pulse voice, that do 2 hearts damage. The blue Wizrobe H room of requirement in level 6. Come on now, what is that? But yeah, having the red ring early would have definitely sped up the seed overall. And that magic key, that was a nicely placed magic key. Every time I buy a key, I find the magic key.
Yeah, we were wondering about that purchase of yours because by that point, Drone had the any key. So we were just counting down the minutes until you had just realized that you had spent 80 plus rupees on nothing.
Oh, I really didn't care. I didn't need rupees at that point. I was well off. I didn't plan on buying a red ring or anything like that. I had a potion. It wasn't a big deal. Or I had the... I got a potion later, actually. I don't remember now. Oh, it was like an hour ago. Whatever.
And so with this, unfortunately, we got to say goodbye to you as far as the tournament is concerned, but we know you'll be back for the next tournament.
I'm free! I'm free! Oh, yeah. No, it's great. It was a great time. I had a great time during the entire tournament. The whole process has been great. Crimson Havoc stepping up, doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Big shout out to him. He's really what has been driving with this whole entire tournament. So thank you so much, Crimson, and thank you everyone who's been supporting it. Rick, you've been doing so much commentary. And yeah, Randomania, thank you so much for hosting all these and speed gaming, and I will see you guys next tournament. And I'll always be there in chat if you need me. Just throw out some bees.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Jam. And give both of them a follow. Both Jammy and RC. Both of them are still alive over in the any percent no up A tournament. So definitely watch them, cheer them on in that tournament as well. Both are a great follow. Jammy, with all the stuff that he does marathons of Zelda and Metroid and other things. So definitely give both of them a follow. Class acts.
My one question, Jam. When are you doing a Zelda randomizer marathon?
Like what? All the Zelda randomizers, including like Zelda's birthday and
1, 2, 3, and 4.
Well, I mean, I could do the Ocarina of Time one as well. That is a thing. So 1 through 5. I think there's a Majora's Mask one as well, and a Seasons one in development. So you know what? Give it another. another few years for everything to get like settled. Yeah, and then
Next
we'll
Zelda-thon?
talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about a full-on randomized Zelda marathon. But until then, keep watching these randomizer runs and these races. Keep watching the Any Percent Marathon and all the other great stuff that this community has to offer.
Absolutely. Once again, thanks again. Thank you to RC as well. I also want to give a shout out to my co-commentator, Adirondack Rick. Does a great job, not only on commentary, but he helps so much with setting up a lot of these races, getting them restreams and everything else. So he's done a great job with this tournament.
And
I also want to give
I was just going to say real fast, I want to give a big shout out myself, and I think you're about to do the same thing, to OPT Lawyer, who stepped in and took care of this race after we found out we had to change the venue earlier this afternoon. So big praise to OPT Lawyer for helping make sure that this race got covered.
Yeah, I was going to shout out to OPT Lawyer and also Chester, who stepped in today and did tracking for us. He has not only performed extremely well in the tournament, but he has helped out quite a bit as well, and we enjoyed having him around. So definitely give OPT and Chess a follow as well. Other than that, Rick, do you have any final thoughts before we head out of here for the night?
Well, I just want to go ahead and plug what we got coming up here on Randomania. Coming up tomorrow, there's going to be a pair of Pokemon Crystal Randomizer Bingo Tournament races. First one at 3 o'clock Eastern, the second one at 4 o'clock Eastern. Please remember to change your clocks ahead 1 hour tonight before you go to bed. Also, Dragon Warrior Randomizer Chaos Tournament races, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and 10:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. Channels to be announced, but stay tuned for that coming up here in Randomania. Our next tournament race that we have scheduled right now, Thurwolf JSR2 Gamers Winners Bracket Championship coming up next Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be on a Speed Gaming channel to be announced.
Okay, and with that, once again, thank you everyone for stopping by. Definitely give the runners a follow. Twitch.tv/JamEvil and Twitch.tv/rcdrone. Give my co-commentator Adirondack Rick a follow, and our guys behind the scenes, OPT Lawyer and Chester. For everyone here at Randomania, I am Crimson Avix. Thank you all for stopping by.
Good night.